Welcome back to Warriors Weekly. Now Basketball 101 with Jim Barnett.
Time for another edition of Basketball 101, and we're privileged today to have point guard Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors talking about his ball handling skills. And Stephen, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I don't know whether to call you a point guard or a shooting guard because you're a heck of a shooter, but you were always billed as a point guard. How do you consider yourself?
I take away both of the first words and just say I'm a guard.
You're a guard.
A guard that can shoot, can handle the ball, can pass. I think that's, you know, the best way to look at myself and being a versatile player.
Well, you just said handle the ball, and to me, you're one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen. And one of the great benefits you have is ability to go right or left. And it seems like to me, I don't know what is your strong hand. I know you're a right-handed shooter, but it seems to me that your left hand is just as strong as your right as far when you're dribbling the basketball.
It's actually stronger.
Really?
If I had a preference to dribble with either hand, it'd probably be my left hand. In high school, I was left-hand dominant kind of thing, just dribbling my left hand. My mom used to get on me all the time, so I had to work on my right hand to get it to where I wanted to be, where they were both equal. So I don't know why I started always dribbling my left hand, but that's just how it was.
When you're able to do that, then that helps you not only bring the ball up the floor, because you can, you know, break defensive pressure, but also when you're in the half court, then someone can't key on you, and maybe you need to make a play going down the middle from the right side. You got to use the left hand, or vice versa. You have to get to the baseline to use your right hand. So it must feel pretty good to have no weakness that way, and that you can get to a spot on the floor. That's what you're supposed to do as a guard.
Exactly. And in the course of a game, if coach calls a play, he might not, you know, expect you to run it on one side or the other. So if he calls it, you got to be able to get to each spot if it's on the right side or the left side. And you don't want to have a weakness when it's I can't go to the left, coach, because I can't dribble my left hand.
Also, I've noticed you probably use a left-handed pass more than anybody on the team, and probably one of the most of anybody in the NBA. And you pass right off the dribble, either right or left. So you're equally strong passing the ball with your left and your right?
I think so, yeah. That just comes from when I do my normal daily ball handling drills, you know, working on dribbling and also passing off the dribble, or just standing. I throw off the wall. When I was in college, I used to just stand there and throw one-handed passes off the wall and let it come back to me. Use both hands, two-handed passes, just to work on accuracy, you know, strength and power, and you know, making my left hand as strong as my right.
You know, I'm going to give you the ball if you back up just a couple of steps. And I also know when a lot of players put the ball on the floor immediately when they receive the ball. You don't always do that. First of all, I see that you like to catch the ball in a position where you can take a shot without having to take a dribble.
Exactly.
Is that true?
That's definitely true. You want to be a threat. You know, you don't know exactly how the defense is playing you, so you always want to be ready in case you catch it, that you're in a position to shoot the ball. So the triple threat position where you get down, you have the ball in shooting position, but from this position I can also dribble,
right,
or pass. So
right. Pass, dribble, or shoot.
Exactly.
Triple threat.
Yeah, it is.
Well, and I've also noticed that you might make a dribble or two either way, and because of your ball handling ability, you know, you're not the tallest guard in the league. A lot of times you're playing against bigger players, but you can still get your shot off. You have a quick release, I understand that. But you also are able to separate from your defender using your ball handling ability with that little back dribble.
Yeah, it's step back dribble basically is what it is. And I do this in my daily shooting routines when I'm practicing. If
that slow motion kind
if the defense is playing you and I'm already dribbling my left hand.
Okay.
And he's playing me right here, and I know you're taller than me, right, and you have length on me, so I can't get my shot off if you're close. I'll act like I'm driving to the basket, right, playing on my right foot, and you do like a little in and out dribble kind of thing, and you step back. Okay. And it all happens with control of your left hand. It's basically you don't really touch it with your right. It's just a step back.
Yeah, and I'm already going back.
You're already going. You don't know where I'm going, so as soon as I make that move, you have to recover. And before you can recover, I'm able to get my shot off. So,
is it easier doing that move to the left or to the right?
It just depends on what hand you're stronger with. For me, it's easier going left just because I'm naturally a left-handed dribbler. I've been working on it. For right-handed shooters, I think it's better to go to the left because the ball is already in your left hand and you can just transfer it to your right on the way up.
Yeah.
If you're going to the right, it's a little more difficult because you're having to dribble, take it all the way up with your right hand, and you're kind of fading back kind of a thing. So it
sounds like to me with your left hand, you can square up a little easier with the right hand.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. It's just the coordination of a natural right-handed player.
Well, that's terrific, Steph. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, if you utilize some of those drills and the skills that you saw exhibited today, you will become a better basketball player. Can't promise you'll be another Stephen Curry, but you will get better. Enjoy the game. We'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Corey Maggette, and you're watching Warriors Weekly.
One Warrior that's been having his best season in the NBA is Corey Maggette. Tim Roy had a chance to sit down with Corey after a recent practice.
So right now sitting down with one of the hottest players in the NBA, and that is Corey Maggette, who's averaging over 25 points, shooting 60% in the last 17 games or so. Welcome.
Thank you, Tim.
Corey, would you call this the best stretch of basketball in your career? I mean, your numbers and your play over the last few weeks have just been simply amazing.
Field goal percentage-wise, shooting at a high percentage early on. I was shooting probably in the high 70s, 60s, and right now I think my field goal percentage is probably 52, 53%. So for my career, that's been probably the biggest upside.
A veteran player once told me that as you get older, it's not the takeoffs, it's the landings.
Man, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think that's been the key. You got to make sure you land the right way now. And even last game, I came down and landed the wrong way, and then I felt something in my knee again. So you just gotta be careful and just try to play to your strengths.
Now, in this stretch of games, you played some small forward, you played some power forward. What's the difference for you?
I think, especially at the forward position, you got guys who it's not as quick as you, and also, probably 20 or 30 pounds. They weigh more than you, so you have an opportunity to kind of blow past them. And then you have guys at the three position. There's only one player who is at that position where he's bigger than me and also probably way faster as LeBron. It's a guy. Then you got a guy Melo who's coming.
Yeah, but you're not alone in that regard.
Yeah, but you got Melo who's also a big guy who's also quick, but. You just try to use their weaknesses and use my strength to the best of my ability.
Think you're a better passer now than you were early in your career?
You know what? I think more so now. Now because I got a guy who's unbelievable that drives and gets to the basket. He makes it easy for me. It may look like I'm passing the ball more, but just hand it off to him. It gives you some easy buckets. And we're having a good shooter like Stephen Curry or another guy. We have Morrow. You look for him, and if you pass the ball, it's pretty much a high percentage that they're going to make shots.
So with this team, and as you envision this team next year and the year after, what do you see?
Basically just having the guys back, and I think, me personally, a guy who's dealt with a lot of injuries, just to stay positive, man. And also, being a man of faith, you got to, have, your faith up there and just continue to stay positive. And I know a guy who's definitely, is battling that is Galena as well. It's Galena who, we lost, and Brandon Wright we lost early on, who's also was actually in this position where I thought Galena was really going to have a breakout year to be able to take another step up, but he got banged up. But I think these guys are really going to come back strong, and they got to understand they got their youth, and they, just stay positive, man. Just do the things you have to do your corrective rehab, and man, just come back and believe that you can go out there and do what you did when you was hurt, before you was hurt.
You told me the story recently about Jerry West giving you some early advice. Relate that story if you would.
It was my second or third year in the league. I had an opportunity going to a friend of mine's bar mitzvah, and Jerry West was there. I had the pleasure of talking to him, and he was telling me, hey, I'm going to tell you one thing for you. You have the speed. You need to develop your jump shot more. But if you can get to the foul line, and if you can improve your foul shooting from the high 80s, you'll be a 20-point scorer easy. And I was thinking, like, really? He said, it'll be easy for you. So I started to work on it. I got a guy, Chip Engel, who also works now for the San Antonio Spurs, and started to work with him. And then Tim Grover worked with me a lot and started to improve on my free throw shooting. And then I started to excel as free throw percentage and get into the line, and also pull some tricks from Grant Hill and how to get to the foul line. And from there, it just kind of took on.
You got a bag of tricks.
Believe me, man, I've watched tapes and watched guys get to the foul line and use. You got to be crafty.
All right, Corey, thanks for the chat.
No problem.